I'm going Tia Jones 1, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone in 2nd, Akira Nugent coming in 3rd. I guess I am.
God.
Like, he's been dominated by Kenny Bednarik for the last 4 races. He is watching another man take $100,000 from him right out of his pocket. At some point, enough's got to be enough. If there's any time that somebody is going to take down Kenny, I'd say it's probably going to be this upcoming weekend with Zarnell Hughes coming off of the meet that he had. If he stays healthy, then there's not many people in the world that's better than Trayvon Bromell. Unfortunately, that is a big if. When he's at the top of his game, nobody can beat Trayvon Bromell. He is one of the best sprinters we've seen in the history of the sport. Welcome back. Another episode of Track World News Podcast. Your host, Colin Waitsman, here with our esteemed co-host, Mr. Noah Williams. Noah, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, blessed and highly favored, brother. We got a long weekend this weekend. Life is good. We had a couple good track meets, some high school recruiting stuff going on. So, it's an exciting time in the sport, man. How you doing?
Yeah, doing well. It was a nice weekend. Gonna go, well, by the time this comes out, I'll be hanging out with the fam, doing a little grilling, stuff like that. So it'll be nice, but yeah, always good to have a nice Memorial Day. I feel like the official start of summer. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. So anything I would say here, how about this? What's one thing on the track and one thing off the track that you're looking forward to this summer?
Number one thing I'm looking forward to on the track is competing, of course, like wherever that be. Just looking forward to competing against guys again. And off the track, I don't know. I gotta hit a couple beach days, probably hit the ocean. I like the water, so I'll probably be, maybe Wekiva Springs, something like that. I'm looking forward to. How about yourself though?
Yeah, I'd say for on the track or track and field related stuff, looking forward to, I guess, the Philly Grand Slam. That's probably one of the only meets that I might be going to this year. I might go to one or two others, but really not that much. Try to be staying a little bit local this year. And then off the track, I'd say I've been getting more back into my fitness and stuff like that. So trying to be more consistent with that, which it's been going well. Hit some pretty big milestones recently on the lifting side of things, and now I'm trying to get my biking up too. So I did 23 miles yesterday. So I'm trying to get pretty crazy with some of these distances to become a little better. So I'd say those are probably two things I'm looking forward
to. You're doing good, bro. You're doing good. And 20, you said 26 or 23?
23.6 miles.
Okay,
yeah. Not quite a marathon, almost.
That's really good. I think every time you're getting over 20 miles, I think that's a good bar. I had a day in the summer where I was on a super biking kick last summer, and I hit a 26-mile bike ride, but I only went one direction. And I had to go another direction. So I got to ride. I got to ride back with my physical therapist. He brought me back to my house. But, biking's a great exercise, though. Good job, bro. Keep it up.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's a little lower impact on the legs. So it's all right, I can go out and do this, which is nice, and get a little bit of cardio in. So, no, it's some good stuff. So for anyone else out there, get outside, touch some grass this summer, and be active. Get into it. All right. So now, like I said, couple track and field things we had going on this weekend. I guess we'll start in your all's backyard. We had Trayvon Bromell, who ran second fastest time in the world with a 9.91, and it's his fastest time since 2022 that he's had. Obviously, he's gone through a variety of injuries over the course of his career, and so making a pretty good return here. Your thoughts on it? I know you weren't able to make it, but I don't know if you knew of any people that were there that might have got some insight on how that meet and everything all went.
Yeah, first and foremost, man, I think everybody in the track and field community loves Trayvon Bromell. I think we all want him to do really well. And there were a lot of question marks around him so far this season because I don't think he had competed to this point. If he had, it wasn't the best time.
Just indoors, maybe.
Okay. So for him to pop out in Claremont with a good field, there was Kendall Williams in the field, a couple other good guys. And for him to win that in 991, second fastest time in the world this year, is really, really positive. It's really good to see that. From a technical standpoint, it looked like a clean race. I wasn't there, but I did watch the video. It looked like a clean race from him. He executed. His top end looked good. So I think everything is really, really boding well for Trayvon right now. When these top guys aren't competing at this time of the year, a lot of times we get doubtful or a lot of question marks around them. So for him to pop that time, it's pretty big moving forward into the summer for sure.
Yeah, like one thing that I was thinking about, we talked about this last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, of there's no singular male on the US outside of probably Kenny Bednarik right now that is really separating themselves from all of the other sprinters. Like usually there is one, but I mean with Noah Lyles, he hasn't competed yet, so we'll see how he does when he comes in July, but he's also got a bye, so it's a little bit different. And then with, there's Fred, who has had his inconsistencies throughout the year. We've had Christian Coleman, who's had some inconsistencies. Christian Miller, who's had a few good races, but still, a rookie in the game. And so now I'm thinking like this, like it gives him a chance because it seems a lot more open this year. I mean, what like would you say that he's in that outside looking in, or do you have him more as he's on this team and it's someone else that has to try to kick him off? Which side of it do you think he's on right now?
Yeah, with it being so early in the season, I wouldn't put him on the team just yet. But I think I'm confident that he will make the final at USA's, and that's a big step. And obviously, you'll put him in the relay pool. Maybe he'll get an opportunity to run, but he's definitely in contention for that top three, or I guess top four with Noah. He's in contention for that right now. I don't want to say he's a favorite. I would say he's slightly on the outside looking in, despite the fast time. But I would definitely, no question, no second thought, put him in that final at USA's in the 100.
Yeah, I think we're in a similar type of position for me as well. The one big thing for me is like I just need like if he stays healthy, then there's not many people in the world that's better than Trayvon Bromell. And like unfortunately, that is a big if with his career, just how it's gone. Of when he's at the top of his game, nobody can beat Trayvon Bromell. He is one of the best sprinters we've seen in the history of the sport. But that unfortunately hasn't been extraordinarily consistent throughout his career. So I'm hoping that he's able to get to that line in a healthy way and see how that kind of goes for him. And actually, I was just on. Well, when this comes out, it was on yesterday, but I was on Race Takes briefly. We talked about this of what should his race strategy be? Like, what do you think of how many races would you want to see Trayvon Bromell put in now in between USA's? What do you think? Obviously, you're not coaching him. I'm sure their coaching staff is their own thing. But what do you think would be like that number of? I think this is probably a good amount.
If he can stay healthy in training, with the time that he just popped before USA's, maybe two to four tops. It's still May, still early, so you do want to keep that competitive juice going, and you don't want to get stagnant with training. So if he could compete, maybe at the final Grand Slam, so he can get a 1 in, a 2 in, and then maybe do Prefontaine or something like that. Just a couple meets, nothing crazy. If he wants to get up against Noah, go to that Diamond League out in London, so he can get a good field, but no more than 4, please.
Yeah, I'm once again like right there with you. Like I think that it would be smart because the USA's it's like what the first week of August, right?
Yeah.
It's something like that. So you still got all of June, all of July, and the last. I guess there's 1 week left of May, and so I'd say yeah, race once a month. Like if you want to do that once a month, maybe you can throw in another one in there, but like if you don't get to the line, it doesn't matter how fast you run. Like, yeah, if you drop a 9.7 in July, that's great. But if then you're in 10.2 shape because you've had some foot or hamstring things because you race a little too much, then how valuable was that, time? I don't see that being a good idea. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, man. But nonetheless, I'm just really, really elated, happy to see him competing right now.
Mhm. I know. I mean, he's gone through a lot of injury things, and obviously you're going through some injuries. I don't know. I don't know if you close with him at all. I don't know if you chatted or anything. I know you both have kind of gone through
Yeah,
several.
we've chopped a little bit. Trayvon's a good person, and he's given me some good advice in the past. We actually had the same surgery, so we had the same exact injury, same surgery. He was on a different foot, but yeah, no, he's a good resource. I'm not super close with him, but every encounter I've had with him has been really really positive. Walked away with something for sure.
Yeah, nah, great dude. I know he's watched a couple of these, so looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing how he's coming through and will compete this year. But I mean, those injuries they're not great. So hopefully he'll stick healthy and we'll be good to go.
Absolutely.
Other race that we have seen coming out here, the Rabat Diamond League. They had theirs. One before we even get into the race, like I mean, we talked about this beforehand. I mean, I understand the business aspect of it, but it's just so like with having it on Flow Track, and it was so much more difficult for me to tune in and see, and just timing of like I wasn't sure exactly when things were going on. I didn't see as many people talking about the meet on social media. Like usually my Twitter page is just filled with track and field stuff about whatever diamond leagues were, and I didn't see that. Was that a similar thing for? Have you noticed any? Has it felt any different at all for you with having a different, viewing partnership as was in the past?
It just changed my where I'm sourcing my information. Like in the past, I might just go stream the meet, but I'm not doing that with FlowTrack. So now I just go to Travis Miller for everything. Travis Miller does a great job on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, but he is my source. So if there was no Travis Miller, I would not be able to watch 75% of the races that I do, and probably 100% of the Diamond League, unless World Athletics posts something after. But yeah, Travis Miller is what I go to. It's a challenge, but nonetheless, like I couldn't see the production of the meet, but with the names and some of the quality of the times and performances, I'm not necessarily mad at it. It was just a broadcast standpoint. It was really, really weak.
Yeah, I'm similar thing. Like Travis Miller, great follow. If you're not following him on Twitter, you're messing up. Like you're not slack. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Right? He's solid. He's got a lot of really good information. So
He doesn't
the
sleep,
lineup.
bro.
What was that?
He doesn't sleep, bro. Every meet, whether it's overseas, in the States, like he's right on time. Like as soon as the race is over.
It doesn't matter. He's got stuff up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., wherever it is, and it's like some good content too. So no,
Yeah.
he's doing well. He's doing well. So some of the results that we had from that 100, we had Simbine who won with a 995, Fernando Manyala 1005 in second. Fred Curley came in third with a 1007. Then the most notable or the other notable race would be Lasile Tobogo, who came in last, I think running like an 11 something. Didn't go down to the eighth, but he stopped running and noted on Twitter or Instagram, yesterday at this point that he had an injury and he's going to be coming back better. So, I guess starting from the top there with Akane Simbine, once again, another sub 10 from this guy. We talked about it. You talked about it last week briefly of just how he's really been dominating this season. Now, we've seen this before. Like, he has done very well in the regular season, and then we haven't seen it translate during the championship. Is this year going to be any different for Akane Simbine, or do you think this is going to be the exact same thing that we've seen over the past couple seasons now?
No disrespect to Akani, but I don't see him walking away with a gold medal. I can see him getting a bronze or maybe a silver at the best. And that's not because of a timeline of his season and he can put together things early in the season. I just don't think he's as good as a Noah Lyles or a Kenny Bednarik. I just don't think he's better than those guys over 100. He's super consistent. He's running really, really well. And I don't expect him to be running this fast in September. If he is, maybe he'll prove me wrong. But at the end of the day, if he's primed and ready to go in his best shape, I still don't think that's good enough to beat Noah or Kenny. There's a few other names I could probably throw in there as well, but I think he's contending for a bronze medal, maybe silver.
Yeah, like I same type of thing. Like I have a similar viewpoint of, I mean, his, like, yes, he's incredibly consistent, but the consistency that he's at of the 9.9s isn't good enough to win.
Yeah.
Like a 9.9 is not going to win the world championship. I'm sorry. You need to be able to run those 9.8 lows, 9.7s, or who knows if it gets any faster than that. But you need to be that 9.7 range. I don't see Akane Simbine running a 9.7. Now, a 9.9 can be good enough to get you a potential bronze medal, depending on how fast the race is and what the environment is. It could get you that, but it's not going to get you a gold. And so, yeah, like, he's doing well in this regular season. He might be able to, string together a bunch of times, but I just don't see him being a contender to win because it's just, you're not at that point right now. There's levels to this.
I can compare him to like a Donovan Mitchell in basketball, right? Donovan Mitchell plays for Cleveland Cavaliers, if you guys don't know. And he's an incredible basketball player, one of the best players in the league. Sometimes he makes all NBA teams, third team, second team, maybe. And in the regular season, he's putting out incredible performances. But in the playoffs, when the best players come to play, even at his best, sometimes it's just not quite good enough. And it's not a slight on Akane or Donovan Mitchell. It's just the field and the people that they're competing with are just a touch better, and that's all it is in this sport. It's a sport of margins.
Yeah, regular season is you can show your consistency throughout the entire year versus like championship. You need to get that one pop, and I don't see it. Now he'll be in that he'll be in the world championship final. Yeah. Like he's going to be like there's one thing he's going to do. He's been in these finals since 2016. I think he came in 5th in 2016 or whatever it is in the 100. So like he's got the ability to be there, but like, man, I like you said, is he going to beat Noah Lyles? Like, is he going to beat Kenny Bednarik? Is he going to beat potentially, Fred Curley or whoever else is going to be lined up there? I don't know. I don't see it happening. Like, I just don't see it happening. And so, hopefully, like it'll change it up. But I'm not sure. Similar like thing with me, or I guess similar outcome, but for different reasons with Ferdinand Omanyala. Like Ferdinand Omanyala, like he has the talent. Like I would say, so you say he's Donovan Mitchell for is the NBA comparison for Akane Simbine. Yeah. I would say like James Harden is the NBA comparison for like Ferdinand Omanyala. Like dude is electric in the regular season. One of the best players that or competitors that this sport has ever seen. But when it comes down to playoff basketball or championship racing, it's not the same. And he's not getting to the levels of which you've seen throughout the entire year. And so I'd say probably similar thing there of just like I'm sure Fernando Omanyala will drop a world leading time at some point this year. And it's going to be like, oh my God, what this is going to be crazy. And then it's just not going to translate in the championship. And that's kind of where I see those two where they're similar, but a little bit different.
Absolutely, bro. Hey, you kind of hit the nail on the head, man. That's been the narrative, especially around Ferdinand for the last at least 4 years.
Yeah, like can it change and pick up when he needs to? So
doesn't he run 980 or maybe even faster?
Yeah, I think he ran like 9.7, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he did it in Africa. No shade to my brethren out there, but it is a little shady times. I've heard.
Yeah, it's he's an interesting. I got a lot of thoughts on Fernando Omanyala. I'd like to see him do well. It's great. I think the sport. It's always good to have a few people from nations that typically are not sprinting nations. Would be great, but who knows? It's I just haven't seen any reason for things to be different from him. But also in that race, we had talked about it. We saw let's see, Tobogo. He didn't finish well, and then he pulls out of the 200 that he had later that day, and then announces on Instagram that he's going through some injuries and everything like that. First, I'd say I applaud him for saying that on social media. Like, we're not in basketball or football or whatever where there's an IR and you have to let people know that you're injured if things. That's not how this sport is, and so like there's a competitive advantage to not telling people that you're injured, and so especially for someone like him, like he didn't have to do that, like but he did, and so I think it's nice for. So his fans know why things are going down, and not just like people like you and me who I could completely overreact and say, nah, this guy saw the blah 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 is looking terrible. But hey, you bring that up, okay? Now I can give you a little bit more grace because you're telling me what's going on. So
Yeah.
but do you think? I mean, I don't know. We don't know what the injury is or how serious it's going to be, but hopefully he'll be back soon. I mean, luckily the World Championships is way down the line, so he's got plenty of time, and they don't have trials, I don't think, with in Botswana. So he'll be good, I'm sure, and come back, and it should be some good championships. So it should be a nice one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not really too concerned. The way he pulled up, to me, it probably assumed it would be a grade 1 hamstring pull or strain. It didn't look too serious. Obviously pulled out of the 200. So we'll probably look to see him again late June, early July.
Yeah, should be back soon. So should be good. I think it was the same meet, but flipping over to the women's side, Shericka Jackson, who was running, she won her 100 with an 11. What was like? No, sorry, that was Zergab, yeah, or Zergab or whatever it was. Yeah, 11:04. She won. Yeah, 11:04 for her to come in, like you're saying, she's getting back into those strides, and just as critical as I'm going to be with you when you are not performing, like you also have to show the exact same thing of when you win. And so coming out here and getting a win. Now keep in mind, like she didn't race against a ton of insane like top level people. Like she should have won this race. I'd say probably the biggest name would be Jesus Sears, who's on in that top level with the 200 right now. So that's probably the biggest name. And then I guess Zoe Hobbs, because didn't she beat her in just recently? Yeah. So to beat her again now, that's nice. It's nice for her. So but yeah, overall, like starting to get back, and they need to do that because the Jamaican trials are in 4 weeks. So it's they're gonna have to be in a good position right now to do well. So good on her.
Yeah, good job, Shericka. That was a good performance this weekend.
For sure. Cool. And so, yeah, a lot of this, I'd say this kind of week is as people are starting to ramp up for the regular season. So not as many things. I think, well, next weekend is the NCAA regional championship. And then you've got the full or the regular championship. That's, I guess, 2 weeks after that, sometime in June. So the colleges are starting to ramp up and get all those things. But, I guess the next weekend, one thing that we do have that should be that I said I'm going to be pretty excited for is Grand Slam Philadelphia, coming to Philly. It's nice that we have something that isn't just the Penn Relays, and I know that High School Nationals has been here for a little while, so it's good to see some other meets that are going to be here. I hope that this becomes a mainstay. I guess we'll see how the attendance does for the meet, but overall should be pretty good. They had some pretty good names that are going to be in here. I know we've mentioned Christian Coleman, I think, was the biggest surprise. Did that shock you? Because it shocked me when I saw that Christian Coleman was competing in this. What were your thoughts when you saw that he's going to be in this meet?
Yeah, I was surprised for sure, but I was definitely excited. More so to see him over 200 meters than 100. But it's going to be another opportunity for him to go compete, get another race under his belt this year, try to shake some of this funk off and drop a time. I said earlier, maybe last week, he's consistently running these like 10-1, 10-2s, like hovering around that consistently. So maybe it's time for that drop to come, and he'll pop a 990 this weekend. We'll see. But it should definitely be good, man. And I'm looking for my boy Udodi Onwuzurike as well, Stanford legend there. So I'm definitely looking for him for that 200 as well at the Philly Grand Slam.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a good one, and I think like for Christian Coleman, which would be good. Oh, I think it would be good. Is the 200s first, so they're doing the 200 and then the 100 afterwards. So I think it can be helpful. Of hey, get that race, I guess started off where you're not as strong in the 200 compared to the 100, and maybe that helps. Excuse me, translate into a really stellar and really strong race on Sunday in the 100. So let's get some predictions on what you got for this. So we'll start with the men's 200. So this will be the first of the sprints. Here are your competitors that we're going to have. So we've got Kenny Bednarek, Zarnell Hughes, Andre DeGrasse, Christian Miller, Christian Coleman, Brian Lavelle, Udodian Onwuzurike, and Aaron Brown, not the troll, but the runner as well. So what would you say is your top three for that 200?
So just for the 200, I would say Kenny first, Zarnell second, and Udodi third. Maybe Udodi beats Zarnell, but I think the way Kenny's been competing, Kenny clears the field, and then second and third will be Udodi and Zarnell, depending on the what order.
Okay. So I would say we're close. I think Kenny is definitely going into this as the favorite.
Yeah.
And he's had the most consistent year of any racer right now in sprinting and in track and field. But I think there's going to be a little bit of an upset here. I guess it'd be an upset. Or I don't know if you'd call that after his race last week, but I'd go Zarnell Hughes with the win. Kenny Bednarek in second, and then similar to what you had, I'd probably have Udodi coming out in third there. And big thing for me Zarnell had that 19.5 in the 200. Yes, it was a little windy, and yes, it was just a straightaway, but I think that can propel him into, hey, this guy Kenny has been he's been dominated by Kenny Bednarek for the last 4 races. He's won every single freaking time. He is watching another man take $100,000 from him right out of his pocket. At some point, enough's got to be enough. And I don't think he can do it in the 100. I think Kenny clears him in the 100. But the 200, you've shown that prowess that if there's any time that somebody is going to take down Kenny, I'd say it's probably going to be this upcoming weekend with Zarnell Hughes coming off of the meet that he had. If he doesn't get him now, when will he? I don't think he's ever has a chance.
Yeah, I like that take. And with that 200 in Atlanta, the straightaway 200, it's hard to kind of say how that transfers, but a good example would be Wade Van Niekerk, who just ran in Rabat, the 200, but he also was in that 200 with Zarnell in Atlanta, and he ran 20.0, and then he turned around and went to Rabat and ran 20.2. So that's kind of, maybe let's take 2/10 and call it that. So if he was running 19.5, is he in 1978 shape? Maybe. It's hard to call that because 1978 is fucking flying. But I wouldn't be surprised if Zarnell beats Kenny over 200. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Zarnell beat Kenny over the 100 because he's beat Kenny over the 100 before in the past. So it's definitely going to shake out to be a good one. I think there's going to be a little bit more parity in this slam as opposed to the ones in the past. I'm actually excited to get to the I'm not going to jump the gun too much, but the women's short hurdles. I think that's going to be definitely intriguing.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be a good one. We got a big name there with the change. So yeah, we can get into that. And then I guess let's stay with this group over the 100. So Kenny, Zarnell, Andre, Christian, Brian, Udo, Aaron. What do you got for how that's going to shake out across 100 meters?
See, it's hard for me to call it 100 right now, but I would say probably Kenny. Still first. See, I want to put Zarnell second, but my intuition is screaming Christian Coleman at me. My intuition is screaming Christian Coleman in my ear. So I'll go Christian Coleman second, Zarnell third. I think Udogi's going to run well in the 100 as well. I don't like I don't want to say disrespect, but I don't think there's enough global awareness of how good Udodi is in sprints, in short sprints. So hopefully this is a weekend for him to kind of stamp himself. And that's my dog, so I'm going to talk him up anyways. But I think it's a good opportunity for him this weekend. But nonetheless, Kenny, Zarnell, Christian, probably for that 100 in some order like that.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he do the double at Stanford and NCAAs? Did he win the 100 and 200?
Yeah, he didn't win the 100, but he won the 2. I think he got like 4th in the 100 with like a 9.9,
Oh, yeah.
and then he won the 200.
He had the best like combined times, or I think it was between what it was. So no, he's strong in those in both races. So I think he can do well there. For me, I'd go Kenny Bednarek first, Christian Coleman second, Christian Miller third. I think, like you'd said, I think this will be not the coming out party, but where that drop that we'll hopefully see from Christian Coleman, where he goes back to, all right, like I'm back. Like he hasn't been running like himself for the past month or so. Now it's a new training group. We went over all that. I think this will be where we can see what type of runner he's going to be. If we don't, and we still see a 10-1 type of guy, and it's conditions are good and there's no outstanding things, then I'm definitely going to be ramping up the concern meter. But I think that we'll see that. And then, I mean, I feel good about like Christian Miller's that wild card for me, man. Like I think I wouldn't be too surprised if I would. Never mind. I was going to say if he went out and won this whole thing, but I would be like, no, I actually would, because for him to win this whole thing, I think he's going to, based on what Kenny ran, he's going to have to run like a 10.90 or maybe, or it's not 10.90, sorry, 9.90 or 9.8 high. And I don't know if he's in that type of shape right now, but he's going to be a competitor. I think he's going to be pretty dangerous here.
Yeah, I love this for Christian Miller, because it kind of feels like he has no pressure in every situation he's in. He's just the youngest guy in every field. Maybe he has something to prove, but I don't see much pressure on him. If he gets 7th, I don't care. He's a kid. If he gets 1st, oh my God, look at this kid. Like it's literally like he's playing with house money.
Yeah, I think the same thing of he's in a really good position of, yeah, you're not really supposed to be here right now, but you are. So you don't have to, feel like it's, you got all this pressure on you, because you're in a situation that you probably this time last year wouldn't have thought that you would be in.
He was taking final exams this time last year.
What do you say?
He was taking final exams this time last year in AP Psych.
Yeah, he was over here studying for his finals and using probably like ChatGPT to figure out what's going on. So yeah, I feel you. So no, yeah, I'd like to see. I think that would be a good one for it. So all right, no, I think we in a similar thing. Over to the women's side for the short sprints, and then we'll do the hurdles after that. So Gabby Thomas is here, obviously. Brittany Brown, Daryl Nita, Melissa Jefferson Wooden, Tamari Davis, Thelma Davies, Dina Asher Smith, and Jaden Mays, who will be making her, I guess this is not her pro debut. She's ran already, but big time kind of race for the first time. What do you got for the 200 in this race?
Yeah, I got Gabby first. Might be a hot take, maybe not, but Melissa second in the 2. And third, she's running really well this year, so I'm gonna go with Tamari Davis third.
Okay. I was gonna go with Gabby Thomas 1, Brittany Brown 2, and then Melissa Jefferson 3.
Okay.
I mean, Melissa Jefferson had a really strong race last Grand Slam in the 200, and she's putting together these really great races, really great competitions. I think it's going to be really hard to beat Gabby. Brittany Brown, she did well last year, where she got, was it third at the Was she third in the Olympics? Wait, it was Gabby, and then it was Julian Alfred. I think it was Brittany Brown in the 200 at the Olympics, right?
I don't want to speak on it. I'm not 100% positive, but
I think
Brittany's a
it
hell
might.
of a runner, though.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah, she put together a good races. So I think that for the 200. But yeah, I think I'd say the 200 is pretty open from two and three. I think is
Yeah.
pretty open. I'd say Gabby's probably pretty consensus one, and then two and three. There's a long list of people I think could probably get
I
that.
would agree, bro. Are you betting on these? Have you been betting on these at all?
Oh yeah. Last I made out like a bandit last time. Because we had I got Dream Richards. They had Dream Richards for the 200 at like plus 5,000 or something crazy, and I was like, this is the freest money I've ever seen in my entire life. And then he came out with the win. And I was like, let's go, get in the bag. So yeah, Gabby, I'd be putting a good amount of money on her in the 200 there. I feel pretty nice about it. But have you? I don't know if they have. I don't even think they have
Nah,
that.
we don't. I don't think we have that sports book here. Whatever it's with, I don't think we have it here.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure how they had things for y'all. Then what about in the 100? I think the 100 this gets a little bit more interesting. But who do you got as your top three in the 100 for these
Yeah,
women?
over 100, I have Melissa 1, Gabby 2. Can you name the starters again for me?
Yeah, Gabby Thomas, Brittany Brown, Daryl Nita, Melissa Jefferson Wooden, Tamari Davis, Thelma Davies, Dina Asher Smith, and Jaden Mays.
Ooh, Dina's in the race. I'm still gonna go 1, Melissa, 2, Tamari, 3. 3 is really open because Jaden Mays could also get a spot. Thelma obviously could get a spot. Um, Damn, that's rough. You know what? I'm gonna go with the rookie. I'm gonna go with Jaden Mays in third 900. I think she's gonna run like an 11, 18 and get third.
Okay. Yeah, so similar things. I got Melissa winning. I have Jaden coming in second and then Gabby in third. Like I think right now when I'm thinking of I'm also like, what are they running for as well? Right now, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I don't think Jaden Mays has like a big time contract right now. I think she didn't have an announcement. That doesn't mean that she doesn't have one. I know she's worn Nike stuff, but I think being a rookie, trying to really cement yourself coming out of here, and we know how difficult that is. This is your first time on the larger circuit. You've had a few races already, but like this is a big one. I think she dropped something crazy in this 100. Like I think that this will be something where she drops a really strong time to like put herself on the mat and will be someone that people will be like, oh my God, that's who we've been missing out on for a little while. So I think she dropped something crazy and not quite win, but that's what I'm feeling. The rookie won't
Yeah.
out and do something.
I wouldn't be too surprised if I see her up there on the podium. So yeah, shout out to Jaden Mays. You're doing a good job.
But you brought it up, but you didn't put her in there with Dina Asher Smith. Why not? Why you got Jaden over her?
I just haven't seen enough from Dina, to be honest. Yeah, recently, I just haven't seen enough from her. So I'm not too comfortable putting her up there, but it's a very compelling athlete to watch this weekend. So it's adding to the lure of the meet this weekend.
Okay. All right. And then I guess we might as well get into your favorite competition in the history of the sport, the 100-meter hurdles. So we've got a little bit more compelling of races now. We got some good athletes that are going to be here. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone dropping down from the 400 hurdles and 400 to the short hurdles now, where she'll be doing the 100 and the 100 hurdles. Akira Nugent, Danielle Williams, Dejit Dejati, Kambuji, Tia Jones, Christina Clemens, Tanya Marshall, and Megan Tapper. What do you have for your top three with them?
Every time those girls line up, bro, it's a slugfest. But I'm gonna go with Kira Nugent first, Tia Jones second, Tania Marshall third.
Whoa, you missing someone?
No, I'm not.
You're not.
You're right, Messiah. You're right. Messiah's been competing this week, or else she would have been in my top 3.
Wow. The disrespect. I'm going Tia Jones 1, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone in 2nd, and then Akira Nugent coming in 3rd.
So Sydney's beating Akira and Danielle Williams and Tania Marshall.
That's what happens when you come in 2nd, right? So I guess,
Oh
I guess I
my
am.
God.
Why are you so surprised?
Okay, no, I just want to hear it.
Tell me why. No. We got this big reaction. I got to know why. Why am I so wrong? You have her out. What place do you have Sydney coming in? If she's not even top 3, are you saying is she 4th?
Maybe like 5th or 6th, maybe 7th if she's lucky. Like, I don't. What's her PB in the 100 hurdles?
Let's get it up. All right. So Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. Come on. She did well. I remember she did the 100 hurdles a couple years ago at the, what was it? I think it was the New York Grand Prix. Yeah, one of the Grand Prix. Let's see. So her personal best in the 100 hurdles, where that's the 100 meter hurdles, is 12:65.
So her PB would get her 6th in this race.
Yeah, that was also in 2021.
Okay. So her best would get her 6th in this race.
Yeah, her best 4 years ago.
Right.
Do you think Sydney McLaughlin is not any faster than she was in 2021?
I don't know. I mean, I think she's faster than she was in 2021, but it's a different race. Like, it's not like we're sprinting, it's definitely a rhythmic event. So for her to not have the rhythm or the, experience as a Tania Marshall who runs this 20 times a season, or Akira Nugent, I can't pick Sydney over, but like, I'm definitely interested to see how it's going to pan out. Like, it's going to be the most interesting event probably of the weekend is that 100 hurdles with Sydney, for sure. But I'm not betting the house that she'll podium in this.
So what do you think she'll run then?
Maybe like a 12.8, 12.7.
12.8? She's not even going PR?
I mean, when's the last time she did the event? 2023?
Something like that. I mean, let's see. The last time she did the 100 meter hurdles, probably somewhere around then. I mean, she doesn't run it very often, but I don't see a world where she's just not even going to do like PR 12:65. That's a pretty slow time compared to where she is. I mean, she ran this. Okay, she ran it. All right, maybe you're looking. Okay, this isn't helping my argument at all. She ran it in. So 2021, she ran 12:65. 2022, she ran at 12:75. 2024, she ran at 12:71. So not helping my argument as to why she's gonna do well.
Yeah.
So
she's not training with that type of rhythm. I mean, maybe she is now, knowing that she is going to be competing for a lot of money for this. But I think we failed to remember that she's a human, and when humans tailor their training to one event, they're 9 out of 10 are going to beat the best in the world at a completely different event, But hey, maybe she wins. Maybe she goes and breaks the world record. Who knows?
Imagine if she runs like a 12:09, something crazy. Just drops half a second off of off her PR. Is like, yeah, no, I'm a short hurdler now. I'm adding my name to the mix. Like, will be pretty crazy. And the 100 hurdles is first. So the hurdles is first, and then she's gonna do the 100 for this. And so that should be a good one. So I don't know. It's not looking great, but she's going to be, she's not hometown, she's not in her hometown, she's North Jersey, but she's still fairly close, to where she's from. So I'm sure she'll have a couple fans in the stands there. She's trying something new, so she's not going to have, any pressure at all. She's already won this come on, Sydney, don't make me look stupid now. Do something.
So what's your podium for the 100 in that
100? Man, I'm not even sure. I'd probably go Akira Nugent, Tia Jones, Tanya Marshall, maybe. I guess Sydney might be right in that 3. I think Sydney will probably be in that 3-4, but we haven't seen her run a pro 100 ever. And last time she did it, she was in high school. So there's literally nothing that I'm going off of for her. I have no clue versus some of these women that have done this multiple times already. So
for that 100, I think it'll go Akira Nugent, Sydney, maybe Danielle Williams, third. Read that start list to me one more time. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. Then after that, it was Ditaji Kambunji, Tia Jones, Krista Clemens, Tanya Marshall, Megan Tabor.
Yeah, I like maybe Tania gets third, but I like Sydney in second and Akira in first in that open 100.
So help make this make sense for me, man. This doesn't make any sense. So you're saying that she's gonna come in fifth, sixth, maybe even seventh in the 100 hurdles, but in the open 100, an event that we have not seen her run professionally ever, and we haven't seen her run it since she was in high school. You have her coming in second.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make any sense?
Well, with the 100 hurdles, like I said, it's more of a rhythmic event that you're really drilling a particular rhythm over and over and over and over again. And her training doesn't really account for that. She's worried, I don't know if it's 13 step or, it's a completely different rhythm that she's training for. But when it comes to top end speed, I think that's something that we can all look at whenever Sydney does a relay or a 200. We can look at her top end speed and see it significantly better than a lot of women. And a lot of the 100-meter hurdle girls aren't very fast over 100. We're seeing that trend in the men's hurdlers too, as they're running 100. They're not the fastest people when you take those hurdles away. So I think top end speed wise, Sydney is probably the fastest in this field. I just put Akira over her because she ran well at the last Grand Slam over 100. I think she ran like 11.0 or 11.1. Like she ran really, really well. So that's kind of a bit of the reasoning. Might be a little crazy. Maybe my mind's crazy, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. But I can move on. Just I don't like second to seventh. Like, sure, yes, I get it's rhythm, but like that means if you got the best foot speed, then you should be up there. Like we know Grant Scott, is the fastest probably 100-meter guy in the 110 hurdles. We saw Trey Cunningham drop. That was also just crazy 100 that he had. What was it again? Like 10-2, 10-3? Like
I think it was faster than that. I think you were at 10-1.
Was it 10? Was it 10-1?
Yeah, you were like a 10-17.
Yeah, I remember it was something I was just like, that's impressive.
Yeah, very surprising.
Yeah. I didn't think he had that in him. So similar. So that means that imagine how fast Grant's probably running this 100. He's probably running 10-0 something, if not faster, right now. And so if you got that top speed, then you probably gonna be one of the top hurdles. I don't know. We'll see. I think she's gonna do it. Prove me right, please, Sydney McLaughlin. Guess you can go to your event 400. We have a couple people coming out here. Matthew Hudson Smith, Muzala Samukonga, Stephen Gardner, Jareem Richards, Javon Powell, Alexander Ogandu, Caleb McRae, and Matthew Bowling making his appearance here for Grand Slam. So who do you have for this for in the 400? I think is it the 400 first? Yeah, it's 400 first and then 200 second.
Yeah, for that 400, I'm going Matt Hudson Smith and Jareem going 1-2. Whether that's Matt first, Jareem second, Jareem first, Matt second, however you want to call it. And I got Samuel Cosgrove getting third. Getting more excited about bowling with that 40. I think he posted a 44.8 or 44.9 this year, which is really good. But that would be my top three right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're in a similar position. I mean, I can't. It's hard for me to not put Steven Gardner in there, but like
I think
he's
he's hurt though. Is he
yeah,
cleared to compete?
he's hurt. Like he got injured at the last Grand Slams, but he's listed on the website.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if he's going to be better by next week or if they just haven't updated it yet. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I just can't put him on there. Yeah, Matthew Hudson Smith doing well. Dream same. Let's put Bowling in there at third, man. Like I really am a big Matthew Bowling fan. I want him to do great. He's probably the first like track celebrity of this generation, I would say. Like he blew up in high school. He had a ton of popularity and he's still just like pretty solid guy from my interviews and conversations with him. So
Yeah.
I love coming third and we'll see, but it's gonna be tough with
Yeah.
with that field. So
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Matthew Bowling, man, a great white hope, as we call him.
the great white hope. Yo, I'm curious. Let me get my words right. I'm surprised that I'm like what he's gonna do like event wise. Like I talk about Matthew Bowling all a fairly consistent amount of time with a lot of my like other in my track circle of like what is the best event for him. I think that he had a lot of like it was difficult out of college. I mean, he was a really good long jumper. He didn't do that. Like there were, I was curious, like, hey, could he do a 400 hurdles? Is he going to do the 400? He's going to do the 100, the two. I don't know. Like I think he's stuck in the middle right now of trying to figure out what event is he the best at. And I'm sure that's got to be a difficult situation to be. I mean, for you, it's like I'm a 400 guy. Like this is what I do. I'm sure like you could if you decided, hey, I'm doing the 100 right now or I'm doing the 200. I'm sure you could do, very strongly in it, obviously. But with him like hey, you won a national championship in the 200 like you ran, one of the fastest 100-meter times in high school history. You've even long jumped, American, the world standard at one point. Like I'm sure there's got to be a lot of conflicts for him as to like where do I put my time because he is at this point probably 25. Are y'all the same age or
I
is
think he's a
he?
year younger than me, maybe two.
Okay, so it's like hey, these are your prime years. So it's like this is when you really want to figure out what event you're going to do because you don't want to waste these years out of it because once you're 28, 29, 30, like it's going to be hard you can't make that switch as easily like unless you're, Fred Curley where you're just like a F it, I'm going to do what I want. So I don't know. I'm interested to see where his kind of career will take him.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting with him. It's kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. But I think he's also trying to get in where he fits in. Like he doesn't have a contract, to my knowledge. So if he has a race where he can run 100, I'm sure he's going to take it. If he can run a 4, I'm sure he's going to take it. I think for his personal success to make as many teams as he possibly can, that 400 pool is probably going to serve him the best. So and the political side of things, and I don't want to get too deeply in that, but it definitely plays in his favor a little bit politically. So as long as he keeps making USA finals in that 400, I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah. I'd even say not even from a political side of things, but just like he's got a like he has a big name. Like he is someone where even if he's not running well, people will tune in to watch Matthew Bowling. Like when and I know this from whenever I put Matthew Bowling in the thumbnails of my YouTube videos, people watch those videos more. And it's like, it doesn't matter what he runs. It's like people remember you from high school. They remember, oh, I love watching this guy. I want to know more about him. They're fans of him. He's a nice dude. And so, yeah, hey, I'm sure get in where you fit in, but also like, hey, I may not be one of your top athletes, but people tune in to watch me. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows that part of his worth of like, even though I may not be the fastest runner on this line, you're going to have more viewers by having me. So he does have that kind of pull versus, someone else that runs the exact same time as him, but nobody knows who they are. Like
Yeah.
he's got more of that that pull, I'd say.
Yeah. Quick Matthew Bowling tangent. I remember Matthew Bowling, obviously, when he was at Georgia, and there was like a bit of a like budding rivalry between him and Terrence Laird. And Terrence was my teammate, so I kind of had to like side with my teammate, and like I just really wanted to dislike Matthew Bowling just because it was a rival to my teammate. It's just by association, you have to be an op. But I think it was the SEC championships where we beat them in the relay, and I won the 4. And he like pulled me aside, and we had like a quick, pretty intimate moment. Like, hey, bro, like I just noticed what you're doing, man. Like you're awesome. Like da da da. And I was like, this is a good guy, bro. I can't hate on this kid, man. So, and now every time I see Matt, it's always good. He's a good dude. I've even played Call of Duty with him a couple times. He's a really good guy. So, nonetheless, you spoke on it. He is definitely a guy that I like seeing succeed. I like seeing him compete. Whether he's at the bottom of the finish line or first place, it's just good to see Matt out there for sure.
100%. There you go. And he good at how good was he at Call of Duty?
Dude, he's good, bro. He's good. He's better than me. He's definitely better than me at Call of Duty. I'll give him that.
There you go. No, shout out to him. Looking forward to seeing how they all do. Then what about in the 200 here? What do you got for those same runners in the 2?
Yeah. I have Dream first, pretty substantial victory. And I would say I'll take Bowling second. Oh, no, I'm tripping. I got Dream first, I got Ogando second, and I got Bowling third. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I was gonna say, yeah, it's gotta be Dream, and then for me, Ogando, yeah, and Bowling. Like that it was so close that last time, and he's also made the, I think it was 2022. He made the final for the 200 at the World Championships. No, he's a solid runner there. So I think it's probably going to be those 3, exact same order: Dream, Ogando, Bowling. For those, and they're the 200 guys. So I think that probably makes the most amount of sense for sure. Any other races that I guess we might as well close out with the women's longer sprints to close this out. I'd say not as I guess still no, there's still some good. What am I talking about? I'm tripping. There's still some good stuff here. Nikisha Price, Alexis Holmes, Paulino, Nasser, Isabella Whitaker, Levi Nielsen, Jessica Gabby or Gabai, and then Charlene Maudsley. What do you got there?
So for that 4, I got Paulino first, Nasser second, and Isabella Whitaker third. I think Alexis Holmes is going to run a hell of a race too, but I think she's going to probably give up position on that last 40 meters, and Whitaker is going to get third.
Okay. Yeah, I've been debating, is it going to be Paulino Nasser or Nasser Paulino? I think that's what the fight is at the top here. Who was it that won last time? Was it? I think it was
Paulino.
It was Paulino. Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember what the flip was. I'm gonna go Nasser here to win, Paulino, and then let's go Nikisha Price coming out here. I mean she last year she had a strong season in college, right? She was Arkansas, if I remember correctly. And so I'm thinking she'll have a big time race. There's always someone that surprises you with something. There's usually always something like that. Now with Isabella Whitaker though, she used to go to Penn, and so she ran at this track. This was her home track. So I actually just walked myself completely out of Nikisha Price. I'm putting Isabella Whitaker there because I forgot this is her home track. She was at Arkansas, but for 3 years she was at Penn. So she's probably got tons of friends here. She knows everything about, what's going on this track. She knows where the spaces are. She probably knows what lanes are good and where to step on. So I'll probably go there just with the hometown or the homeschool knowledge of just like, hey, I got some inside game that y'all don't have.
Yeah, I like it, bro. I'm with you.
Cool. And 200, I'd probably go Nasser first, Holmes second, and then Paulino third. I think there's not as many 200 meter. It's more 400 meter runners in here than 200 meter runners in here, unlike the men where there's some more 200. But that's probably what I would go for the the 200 on that side.
Yeah, 200. I like Nasser first, Paulino second. Yeah, I'll throw Alexis third. Alexis Holmes third.
Yeah, I think it'd be good, but not. I don't think it's as compelling as the 400 race for them, but should still be a good one. So excited for Grand Slam Philadelphia. They got some good stuff coming up. Also, they changed it to Saturday Sunday. How did you feel about that change instead of it being a 3-day meet, and also taking away the 5K?
I like the 2-day Saturday Sunday. I think Friday for me is never a track meet day. In my head, Friday is like let me unwind, maybe watch some TV, watch basketball, something. But I don't really think about track meets on Fridays. So now that it's Saturday Sunday, I think it's more convenient for me personally. And I said it after the first slam to get rid of the 5,000. So I think Mike was watching the podcast and decided to take my advice. So yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. So if you got any more suggestions, Noah, he's clearly taken your opinions to heart. So just air them out, and we'll maybe throw them.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my furthermore suggestions for his DM. I'll let him know some stuff, but it is what it is.
No free game out here. You can't let people take your ideas.
Exactly, bro. And they're doing a good job. Like overall, they're doing a really good job with Grand Slam too.
Yeah, I think it's strong, and that's taking away the 5K. Like I'm completely fine with that. I mean, I'm more of the sprinter person myself, but like people are like, oh man, you're taking it away. Like they're not earning as much money. Yeah, they took it away because they were playing around in that race. Like they had people like the women's time was faster than the men's time because the men were messing around. It's like if you wanted to have the 5K in there, then race in it and make it good, but y'all messed around and y'all found out, so sorry. Like this is what happens. We're not just going to give you this money for nothing. So I get it. I think it's fine, and I'm for it. So I guess the last thing we'll wrap up with, we had some news in the high school track and field ranks. Jake Odie Jordan out of Archbishop Carroll in Washington, D.C., signing with the University of Florida. I know you're an LSU guy, but how do you think this signing lines up? I know they've got a strong class for next year. He also went on his recruiting trip with Quincy Wilson a month or so ago. So there's potential. Will we see those boys coming back together? But overall, how did you see with one of the other biggest names in the high school sprinting game, going to the Gators?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Florida's known to get huge names. I think he'll have a ton of success there. I think he'll run a ton of races there, from the 4x1s to the 4x4s to everything in between. And yeah, I think he picked a good school. You can't really go wrong if you're an elite male sprinter trying to better yourself. You can't go wrong going to Florida. So even though they're a rival of ours, I can't never be mad at anybody going there.
Yeah, no, it's I think good program for where to go. I think he will fit well there. And now like there's still a lot of that junior class. It's just a lot of talent for them. I mean, we were talking about it. Tate Taylor, Quincy Wilson, just to name two of them, and like there's a tons of others that I put a post up yesterday about it for who are some of the uncommitted people of, hey, where will they all go? And now that we're in the kind of land of the NIL, like how much money are these schools going to be paying these kids to come out here? Because especially like a Quincy, like how much are you going to spend on that potentially? And I guess for you, tangent a little bit here, but if you were Quincy, and he's a junior in high school now, one of the best 400-meter runners in the world, not just in the United States, like one of the top guys. Do you go to college or do you sign pro right out of high school?
Yeah, this was the conversation we had at the track last week, but I'm going to college if I'm Quincy. I just don't think you can replace the experience of that and what you can gain socially and like just about yourself as a human, like human development that you can go through by going to college. I spoke to a few people that are pros that went out of high school. If you would do it again, would you do it different? And all of them tell me that they would rather go to college first if they could do it again. So with that, I think he should go to college first. But, he's in a weird position because if he goes to college, say he goes to LSU, and he doesn't win an NCAA title that first year, or he doesn't win a SEC title that first year, it's like, oh, he's falling off. Like he sucks now. So there's a lot of more pressure probably that'll be with him if he goes to college. But I think as a person, and just human development, it'll be better for him to go to college.
Yeah, I'm there. Like I think back to Mondo Duplantis. He went to LSU for a year, and there's a documentary that was, Born to Fly, that was made with him, and he didn't want to go to college. He wanted to go pro right away, but he went, and it ended up being successful for him. Same with see McLaughlin. She went, to college, and so like I think it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I mean, Jalen Slade, when he was on our podcast a while ago, he said he would, like, if he was able to do it again, he would change it. Like he said it on our our show. It's like, and I'm sure, like, there's others. I mean, you have a couple people that are in your general. I know Noah went right out of college. Josephus went, or right out of high school. Josephus went right out of high school. We had Arian Knighton, who went right out of high school. So there's a lot of those people that have done that. And yeah, from what I've gathered of, it seems like, the pro, because it's not like it's not like if you're going to the NBA and you still have that team atmosphere. You don't have that team atmosphere really when you going right to the pros. And it seems like the most fun you're going to have in track and field from a social standpoint is that college experience. I mean, you obviously may know different from me, but that's what it looks like from an outsider. And they're really big on the experience things. Like whenever I talk to his coach, Coach Lee, like they were like, yo, we're going to let him be a kid. Like you're never going to be able to go to prom again. You're never going to be able to, do these, hang out with your friends, like just messing around again. Like you're like, these experiences you're only going to have once when you're in high school. And so it lends me to think, even though he definitely could go pro right away, that it seems like based on what are their priorities, they might go to they'll probably go to college in my eye.
Yeah, for sure. And so, hey, time will tell, man. But if I was Quincy, I would go to college just for a year.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good thing for him, and you get to get that potential of, could he win the Bowerman? You want to get those things. Like those are all things that, hey, you can only get this here. Like I'm sure people will be like, yo, you want to win a Heisman, you want to win a Bowerman, you want to win, all these awards. So it's like, yo, put yourself in the record books, try to do that and do well. So, all right, no, you got your international athlete of the week. Who we got?
I certainly do, bro. I got my athlete of the week, none other than my dog Trayvon Bromell, man. He back popping his shit. 991 in Claremont, Florida, man. Great performance, second fastest time of the year. Printed it out this morning, bro. I couldn't wait to print that out for you, bro. So we're going to get that sent to you, man. Shout out Trayvon Bromell, man.
There you go. Shout out Trayvon, back on it. Looking forward to seeing how he does the rest of this year. But thank you all for listening. Another episode of Track World News. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Have a good one. Peace.